Hi guys, Sweetie Pie here. Welcome back. Back again. I'm actually moving the back of my chair against the desk. Stop that. Today we're actually going to rank all of my face palettes. There are 30 of them, I think, all together. Oh my gosh. Like, this is going to be a video, so please go grab a drink, go grab a snack, go grab something, because we're going to be doing some swatching, some talking, and all that good stuff. And if you have never been here before, hi, my name is Sweetie Pie, aka Melissa on this channel, and yeah, we do beauty commentary, and I hope you join us for, you know, the couple of videos a week that I do on YouTube. So yeah. Alright guys, there is such a list. There's a list. And of course I didn't set up my table, so I literally have my little caddy, and I hope all of these face palettes are somewhat in order. We will see. We will see if they're in order. Okay. Alright. So first one's first, I see that it is definitely in its rightful spot. Thank goodness for that. It is the Too Faced Natural Love Face Palette. Alright, this just has a special love in my heart. To me, it smells like cinnamon hearts, which is something that I really love. The powders work beautifully, and in the summer, especially like when you're almost diving into fall, I feel like this fits my skin tone so beautifully. The powders are beautiful, the blushes are pretty. Too Faced did such a pretty job on this. There is a pink sand, like neutral blush. I don't think this is going to work for really deep skin tones, but I think that if you are like medium, light, even like a little bit deeper medium, I think you would benefit from this Sunny Honey. So smooth, so smooth. So that is my very first pick. It is the Too Faced Natural Face Palette. Where am I putting all of these? Let's just sit that back in its little location there. All right, the next one is one that I haven't used in a while. Just look at this. Okay, this is the Park Avenue Princess by Tarte. I have ravaged this so much. The powders in here work amazingly. I used to set pretty much my whole face with these lighter powders, and then I used the bronzers like so much. This one, Princess Cut, I have never ever gotten a bronzer. Oh, no, Physicians Formula, I have finished a bronzer from them. But honestly, in a palette form, I don't think you're going to find a single bronzer that looks as dented as this one. I really do use my face palettes. When I love on a face palette, I really love on a face palette. So that is my second pick. I have used the crap out of this. This is a good pick. All right. Oh, I love this one too, and I know this one's going to be really used as well. I'm such an idiot. Okay, this is the Be a Light by Becca. This was a limited edition. I don't know if they sell this anymore. I loved on this bronzer and this blush trio a lot too, and honestly, Becca actually did have it right when they were going for these powders. This one, I think, is the medium. This is the light to medium. I wonder if they had a light one. I can't remember if they had a light one. I probably should have got that one, because these ones are just slightly dark on my skin. The highlight is nice. It is so smooth. You could almost set your under eyes with it. It's a little too shimmery for that, but you could almost set your under eye. It's like one of those hourglass powders. This one, on the other hand, this one is to set your face with, and it's just a hair like too dark, but it has the most beautiful sheen on it. I have used it and used it and used it. The bronzer I love. The blush, although quite shimmery, very pretty. I love this palette. I loved this palette when they brought it out. Oh, okay, sorry about that. I actually of course I had this one in my drawer. This is the Physicians Formula Butter Collection and Wylise. Oh, I'm not going to butcher her name. Everyone knows this palette. They still sell it. I still see it at my shoppers. This is a beautiful quality palette. The blushes are beautiful. The highlighters are phenomenal. I love the bronzers. Like, I love everything about this palette. This is probably one of my favorite face palettes. Like, it's so good. It's so good. It's so good. And I was totally kind of let down by the other one, to be perfectly honest. It just wasn't as good. And it's way down on the list, actually. Okay, the next one in my... I have not used this in a bit either. This is the Catrice and Iman Live What You Love blush palette. This is beautiful. The different tones in this palette are so pretty, and honestly, I've used this so much. The orange blush, like, there's nothing in my collection like this that's really close to this tone. I know I have a CoverGirl blush that they just came out with that is really beautiful, but it's more on the red orange kind of tone. This is like an orange blush. I really love this palette. The powders work beautifully. It's super nice. Love it. The next one I see here, and this happens to be number 6. This is the Pixie by Petra. This is the Honey Nectar. These highlighters are gorgeous. The bronzer works great. The blush is so pretty. They make some really pretty face products. Their highlighters also are some of the most beautiful and smooth highlighters I have ever had in my collection. I really think, like, Pixie does eyeshadows pretty terribly in my opinion, but these ones are done really nice, and so is this, which is brand new to my collection. This is their Pixie Pixie and Promise. This has been really great. Another really nice face palette. I didn't put this in here just because this is like brand new and I'm still playing with it. So yeah, there is that. Next, we're going to look at Hourglass. So I don't have any other Hourglass palettes. I've got a couple extra products here and there, but Hourglass's products are something that I think everybody should experience. I think that they have a really, really good handle on powders for the skin and how to make mature skin. I think, like, if you do have mature skin, I'm only 30 and I love these products, but if you have mature skin and you definitely need to powder your foundation, your concealer, all that kind of stuff, you're gonna really benefit from having something like this because their powders are milled insanely beautiful. This one was a Christmas. This is the Ambient Lighting Edit Volume 4. It has 2 blushes, a bronzer. I have used a full single of this bronzer already. Then it came with their highlight and 2 of their ambient lighting powders, which those are the ones that are just absolutely beautiful. You can see I've made a dent in this palette. I probably should use this more because it is getting older in my collection, but again, beautiful. Another gorgeous palette that I actually ended up breaking is the Wet n Wild My Melody and Kuromi. I'm butchering that. This was limited edition. I was surprised that Wet n Wild did something so bold and so dark. This blush is absolutely stunning, and on a darker skin tone, like, oh my gosh, I could just imagine. I really love this one as well, but it was so like lightly in the pan. I ended up breaking it so easily. We were down in Niagara Falls. The highlighters are their smooth, buttery formula. Wet n Wild does highlighters like no one's business. Like, we all know that. They do highlighters like nobody's business. So definitely up there in, what is that, number 8? Yeah, definitely up there in like the grand scheme of things on my face palette scale. All right, the next one we have is one I, again, have not used in a bit. This is the Cover FX. This is the contour kit. I'm pretty sure you can still purchase this. These blend really easily, and I use the crap out of this. When I was cream contouring a lot, this was so helpful because it did not remove my foundation underneath, and I hate that. Now, as for now, these are like, they're not, when I start to move them around, they're not dry anymore. I should try this again and just throw it out if it's no good. But yeah, this was good. This was good at one point. If this isn't good anymore, that's only because I've had it for so long. But this was a really good palette, and this helped me out a lot when I was doing more cream contouring and trying to get into that a little bit more, trying to master that more. All right, another one that is so unexpected is this one. This was actually a winner's purchase, and again, I have no idea. I can't tell you. This was definitely a Christmas, like, for MAC. It had this interesting packaging on it, and it was a blush, a bronzer, and a highlight. These are all in that kind of like baked gelée format, and I think this is so good. I could travel with this no problem, and it would be like my blush, bronzer, and highlight. Honestly, you could, so good. I really think like this is where I started to get more into MAC, I think, when I tried this, because I was like, wow, like they actually make some really good products, and some that are in some really cool packaging. So yeah, I am starting to get more into MAC. The Bronze Booster by Physicians Formula is the 11th pick. And honestly, the reason why this is a little bit lower is just because these are really pigmented, and I don't know, it like every time I try and use this, I just feel like they are so pigmented that I'm not getting the best blend, but I still think that they're really good. And when I do kind of take my time, like this white, well, cream shade, it has so much pigment to it. And I mean, like when you put this on your under eye, it's going to really make it look flawless. So if you take your time a little bit and you know, you don't put a ton on your brush, I think you can get away with this, and I think it can be a good product. But I heard so much hype about it, and when I actually ended up trying it, I was like, this is not better than like my Tarte Park Avenue Princess, or like, you know, that like MAC palette. It wasn't as good as that. All right, in the 12th place is this Physicians Formula All-Star palette. And the reason that being is because I really don't think that this fits everybody, and I think that some of the shades could have been fixed a little bit differently. The pearl, like the Mineral Glow Pearls, there's like an overspray of like chunky kind of glitter. Not my favorite. Then you have the Powder Palette Multicolored Pressed Powder. I don't think that's going to work for everybody. This blush is really hard pressed in the pan. And then when it came to their butter bronzer, their matte Mojito butter bronzer, I just found that this one was a little bit orangey. Now I did use it today, and I still feel like it can be a little bit orangey. So, you know, I did use the butter bronzer to kind of blend it, and I did want more of a bronzy, like, you know, not contoured, but more of a bronzy look today, because I am a little more self-tanned. But I just wasn't as happy with this as I was with the first one. That first one was, wow, that was like chef's kiss, really, really good. All right, the next one we have is the Bloom Kit from Natasha Denona. And this one is a really pretty, I feel like sometimes she gets a little editorial with her makeup, and although I did wear this quite a bit, I think that it can look a little bit stark if you literally go and use all of these products like, you know, you're supposed to. You start off with a glow cream base, then you also have a cream blush. The cream blush, like, look at, it's beautiful. It's just quite pigmented. Then you have her Glow Extreme and her Duo Glow. Okay, the Duo Glow is pigmented. As you can see, it's like this peachy shade. I just feel like it's a little bit editorial when you put it on the way I see her putting it on. I love it. I think it's beautiful. I think it's so pretty. I just don't think it's like practical for me to go to work. And, you know, that's the only reason why I don't get as much use out of it, because the colors are really, you can see you've got some rosy, juicy cheeks with this. Juicy cheeks. That's what I'm going with. All right, then we have, where are you? Oh, here we are. This is the NARS Hot Tryst palette. Now, I remember when this came out, Tati was still doing YouTube, and she said she didn't like this, and I think are really special in this. This was a winner's purchase, and this was a purchase like 5 years ago when they actually released it. All right, then we have the e.l.f. palettes. All right, so I have so beautiful, the e.l.f. blush palette, so pretty. Then I have bronzer, so pretty as well. This one, there's a couple that have a little bit of shimmer in it. If you're not into that, you ain't gonna like that. And then we have their cream. This one is the only one that I could be a little bit iffy over. I think that I really don't love this like creamy shade here, but the cream bronzers worked quite nicely. So I like that, but I do not like the other. Picky over here. All right, then we have this little baby. This is the Physicians Formula Glow Face Palette. This is, again, another one that I could 100% take with me, and I would have my bronzer, blush, and highlight in here. The only thing about this highlight is it is beautiful, but it is blinding and so fragile. Like, what the heck? This is in the shade, ooh, what is it? This one has the exclusive shade. It just doesn't tell me which one. Ooh, it's in Tropical Sands, and then it's Beachy Please, and then the Mura Butter Bronzer just in Butter Bronzer. So nice. Honestly, this is so nice. It's not going to fit you if you are not like a light skin tone. The Butter Bronzer, the original one, is pretty light. We have my Sephora palettes. I love these palettes, and I feel like I'm missing one. Maybe not. Anyway, this one I used the most. This is the contour. The powders are really nice. They still sell all of these, and I still stand by the fact that these powders work really nicely. This is their blush contour. If you really enjoy blushes and like different kind of, not different textured blushes, but different finishes, this one's really nice. And if you're like, I think that a lot of these do fit some deeper skin tones. I think they do cater more towards the medium to light, but you know, go swatch. Well, I guess you can't swatch in store, can you? God, that's such a stupid thing. This is also the holographic face one. This one's really cute as well. It has 3 matte blushes and 3 really pretty highlighters. This one I probably wouldn't consider a highlighter, but it's still pretty. So yeah, there is that. Then I have, which is very old and definitely needs to be thrown away at this point. This is the ABH Contour Palette. I've had this probably for 5 years, maybe even longer. These were beautiful though. This was my very first start to like more high-end makeup. I bought this while it was on sale, and it was just like, it was something that I thought so many people used, and it was okay. It was all right. I've definitely found better, and I think that it definitely is probably on its way out soon since I've had it for so long. All right, next we have the Becca Après-Ski Glow, I think is what this is called. The highlighter central for Becca. This has rose quartz, it has icicle, This has Winterberry, Blushed Copper, Opal, and Bronzed Bondi as the bronzer. I like all of this. It's very pretty. Becca is such a cool brand that I really don't have a whole lot from, and I kind of feel bad for that. The next one, which is 22, guys. We are on 22. Okay, this is the Urban Decay Jean-Michel Basquiat collection palette. I had this, and I think I had both eyeshadow palettes. I can't remember if I kept them both, but so nice. The bronzer is a little bit deep, but you cannot get this anymore, so I won't like super show it to you. Next, we've got the Essence. This is, we're getting down to it. I think we have like less than 10 left. So excited. Yes, less than 10 left. Oh my gosh. Essence Sun Club. This is nice, but I just feel like for me, it's a little too deep. That's awesome though. For Essence. If you are of a deeper skin tone, I think that you would get quite a lot of use out of this. Let me know if I'm right. If I'm wrong, let me know. I think that, you know, deeper skin tones should definitely check into this because it goes really deep, like in my opinion, deeper than even I can use. Next, we have the Kat Von D Fetish palette. This was from like 3 years ago. It's not that I don't like these products, it's just as is, these are not like shades of blush I use on an everyday basis. These are not highlighters that I love a whole lot. They are great eyeshadows, like this one in Telepathy, like it is special. It is a beautiful duochrome. So I'm not saying that the product itself is bad. It's just that I never end up getting around to using these as blushes or as highlighters. I use them more as eyeshadows, and those are some big pans of eyeshadows at that point. All right, now we have the ABH blush palette. This is the one in Cocktail Party. These are lower on the list because these are just too pigmented for me. I don't know if maybe I just bought too dark of a one or what, but yeah, it does says full pigmented blush for buildable intensity with a seamless finish. I just found that these shades were way too dark for me, and every time I use them, I got a blushy look, like for sure. This one, on the other hand, I tried to love till the very bitter end. This is the blush kit in Gradient. Look at the tones. It's insanely beautiful. The tones, what grabs me every time I open this. But in reality, like this is for a much darker skin tone than me. And I try and make it fit. I have tried so many times and it just doesn't fit me because it's not for my skin tone. And that's the facts. That is the facts. And that's okay. All right, guys, dumped my memory card. Sorry about that. We were talking about the Gradient palette by Anastasia. I wanted this and I got this when it first released. They had all of the shades. I wanted this one. I have loved on this, but it's just not, it's not for my skin tone. It's just not for my skin tone. I try. I really do love this palette. And like this gray, like if you needed a contour, a gray contour, this is a beautiful gray contour. It's just a little too dark for me. Shoot, right? Anyway, I have 4 left, okay? These 4 are obviously ones that I just don't really like that much, okay? The first one is actually one that I've been liking more than I thought I would. This is the Black Radiance, the True Complexion Contour Palette. These are really orange. Like these are really orange. This one is the light to medium and it's just orangey. Like I don't know where people got like this super orange. Like this is a literal. Now I've used this since, like can you tell how orange that is? It's like an orange eyeshadow. But I have been using this a little bit when I am self-tanned and I've noticed I like it better then. So I am giving it a second chance. I am only gonna get tanner as the sun comes out and we go into summer. So excited actually. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see anyway. Oh my God, really? My third to last pick is this Catrice Shape in a Box. I just don't get the colors, honestly. The bronzer works all right, or like the contoury shade works all right. It's just this like white powder is really like white. Like it's white. It's white. Like it's actually white. And then they have this like kind of peachy skin tony powder. I'm not chill with this. I'm not like, this wasn't my favorite thing in the world. It does say that this is a apply underneath the contour line for more definition. I don't know. I just didn't like it. I didn't like the powder. I didn't like how it blended. And yeah, I didn't like the shade Light either. This shade Light contour, I found these really hard to blend. I tried so many times to make this work, and I just feel like they are like Vaseline on the skin. So yeah, not that great. And last but not least, in last place, now when I bought this from Winners, I thought I was gonna love this. This is the Cocoa Contour Palette by Too Faced. These are not great. Okay, this pop of light is kind of odd. It's like a, what can you call this? It is like a under eye setting powder with glitter in it. That is the facts. Can you see that on my finger? It's very difficult to point out, but it has noticeable flecks of glitter in it. I know you can't see that. The bronzing powders work okay. The contour powder works okay. This highlighty powder works all right as well. Not my favorite, not the love of my life. That's just facts. That is probably, yeah, my least favorite palette in the whole bunch. So yeah, guys, that was all my face palettes. This was a video, right? This was a video and a half. I love you guys so much, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this talk and swatching and all that good stuff. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. I am gonna go take a shower. I need to take these eyelashes off. They have been on too long. All right, mwah, bye.